Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to my live stream, The Actual King Smith. Before we get into this live stream, I am streaming across multiple platforms. All right, you can catch me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. At most of them, I am found at The Actual King Smith, except for Twitter because I couldn't fit that many characters. It is Actual King Smith. Now I'm gonna try to keep this live stream brief. I always say that and tend to go over, but I'm getting a little bit better at moving from point to point, okay? Do me a favor. If you're catching this on YouTube, hit that like button for your boy. Help me out on the algorithms. That's the algorithm over here on what I call it on my channel. Now, this live stream is dedicated to Vvs Finance, okay? And what I have discovered in learning about this crypto avenue, okay? And what Vvs Finance offers, okay? Let me start off by saying I'm not an expert at this. I am learning as I go. And how I'm doing my learning is I'm doing a lot of reading online. I'm jumping into Twitter spaces that talk about certain terms like DeFi and yield farming and things like that. And I am also in communities like Discord and VVS Finance Discord group. Okay. There's a lot of information that you can find by jumping into these different groups and communities, and everybody's with their own different opinions. Okay. I'm going to share mine. I'm going to share why I'm excited about VVS Finance. And if you're somebody that is interested in yield farming, I think that you should take a look at it. Okay. So let's start off by showing and pointing out what is VVS Finance. And I'm going to share my screen here. All right. And we got somebody in the comments. Let's see what we got. TZP. Ooh, I messed that all up. TVP the Viper said, by the time you see this, I'll probably be out of your stream. I'll just jump in and paste this and bounce to the next stream. Hopefully you have a good year. Let's rock out. And remember, you are awesome. But you are more welcome to whisper me in your response. Hey, you know what? Shout out to you for that. I like positive messages. So I appreciate you coming in and sharing that live stream, and enjoy yourself this evening or whatever time it is where you're at. All right. On my screen here, I have the VVS Finance website, which you can find at vvs.finance. Okay. I'll put the link in the description on YouTube anyway. I forgot to put it up on Facebook as well. So if you're watching this on YouTube, at least you have the links right there. But you can see up at the top right here what VVS Finance is. And I've covered this before. The elevator pitch of it is VVS is designed to be the simplest DeFi platform for users to swap tokens, earn high yields, and most importantly, have fun. I could have gone without this third one right here, because what they're trying to highlight by this is, there's these different DeFi platforms out there and they all have themes to them. Okay. Pancake Swap has a theme of like syrup and pancakes, okay? And it has these sounds that it makes to show you that a transaction has been done. VVS Finance has like glitter mines and this mole and diamonds, and it's got a sound of you earning diamonds and stuff as you make transactions or whatnot. Now, this is on the Cronus blockchain, which is backed or powered, I don't know the correct way to say this, by the crypto.com DeFi platform. Okay. And if somebody knows a better way to say that, let me know. All right. But VVS Finance and the token, okay, the VVS token is the platform's native token, and it is a utility, governance, and reward token with applications throughout the VVS platform. So now you got to ask yourself, what are those platforms? Okay. So as of this versioning of it, you have what's called the Bling swap, which is just simply like the other DeFi swaps where you can go in on, you know, different cryptocurrencies and swap like CRO for whatever supported tokens that is on that platform. And there's several different ones that they have. I'm going to show what some of those are because I do have my wallet linked up to the account. Okay. So I'm going to go over this stuff. I'm going to show the little bit that I have live. So stay tuned. All right. And it says right here, swap supported tokens at low fees and fast speeds. I do say that it's definitely low fees. around about what it costs right now is one token to make a swap, sometimes less. It depends on the congestion of the network. But one CRL token is like 55 cents right now. Okay. So to execute a swap for 50 cents and relatively fast speeds, I'll say that's a bonus. Okay. Especially if you're using other DeFi platforms that it costs a little bit much more because their native token is higher. All right. And because they have a lot more people that use their network, the speed might not be that fast. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't consider their speed to be that fast because I use Uniswap and PancakeSwap as well. And sometimes the transaction just seems to be a little bit faster. I just want to point that out. All right. It also says you can supply liquidity by providing a pair of assets and receive what's called liquidity provider tokens, or for short, LP tokens, as proof of ownership and earn a proportionate 0.2% transaction fees whenever the pair is traded. And this is what I'm going to talk about a little bit more in depth because I didn't have an understanding of what that meant. And I'm going to show the one, I think I'm in two liquidity pairs, and I'm going to show what those are, how I supply liquidity, and talk about what that means a little bit more in depth. Okay. So Crystal Farms, stake your liquidity pair tokens to receive VVS rewards. So you're earning VVS for supplying liquidity to the decentralized exchange. Okay. And what it means to provide liquidity is this: you have to understand what it means to be liquid. So to be liquid is to say, hey, how can I turn this into cash on hand, cash right now? Okay. That's what it means to be liquid. All right. You can theoretically say you've got all of this money provided somewhere, but unless you can turn that into supplied cash, then you're not considered liquid. That's the short, basic way of explaining what it means to provide liquidity or for an asset or whatever to be liquid. Okay. So if you're supplying liquidity and getting LP tokens, you're saying, hey, I'm going to put $100 worth or however much, $1,000 worth of these two pairs of tokens and bump up, like if it's a CRO pair to a USD tether pair, okay, and you're surviving $500 and $500 in both of those pairs, receiving tokens as proof of ownership, and then just by holding on to those tokens, you're gaining transaction fees as well as VVS rewards for doing so. Okay. And I'm going to go a little bit more into that by sharing an article that I found that broke it down in a way that made sense to me. All right. So you've got these glitter mines as well. And this says stake your newly earned VVS tokens and receive even more VVS. Stake, forget, and collect. I like this because VVS Finance hasn't been out that long. It came out a little bit after Thanksgiving, I want to say. And the price right now, it's dropped since it came out. And it's caused a lot of people to panic. But for me, I'm looking at this like, wait a minute. If this is on the Cronus blockchain, marketed by crypto.com on Twitter and different ads, right? And the volume on it is eventually going to increase when more people start to understand, what DeFi is, and, kind of like the updated DeFi 2.0, which VVS Finance doesn't get into what I consider or what I understand actually to be DeFi 2.0, which is like lending and borrowing. There's another one out there, Tectonic, that I'm going to do a separate video on that kind of covers that. But the DeFi space in general is a place that you can get into, that if you can get into some of these different cryptocurrencies early, this is where you can make your gains. All right. This is where you can make your gains. And something that they're introducing as well that they haven't put out yet is initial gem offerings, or what they're calling IGOs. It could be ICOs called on a different platform, but this is where they have new projects that are being introduced that have passed some kind of governance, okay, or have been vetted. And this is your chance to get in on the ground floor, but in order to do that, you have to get certain requirements. And they talk a little bit more about that as you go through their documentation here. So if anything, look, I'm giving you guys my understanding from my point of view, but take the time to go through and read the documents yourself. A lot of people want to come in and have a quick understanding of what something is to decide if they want to try to throw capital behind it and gain some money. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's better to do your own due diligence when looking to try to find cryptocurrencies that you want to put capital behind. Okay? You're not going to get all of them right. I'm not even so sure I'm doing this farming thing right, but you know what? This is me doing as much as I can and then putting myself out there to figure out if what I'm doing is the right thing and gaining feedback from you guys, the viewers. Okay. So if you see something that I should be maybe tweaking, let me know. Put it down in the comments. You could be helping me out and helping somebody else out that wants to try to understand this a little bit more. Okay. So I'm going to bring this down and go into an article that I found, which I linked in the YouTube description as well, that says yield farming. And this was an article by Corey Ann Hicks, November of 2021. And it says yield farming, an investing strategy involving staking or lending crypto assets to generate returns. And I found this article to be really simple and easy for me to follow. Okay. And then from there it was okay, let me go and try this out. Let me take some capital and try this out. All right. So the highlight, the bluff line, which is the bottom line up front, is as follows. Yield farming involves lending or staking cryptocurrency in exchange for interest and other rewards. Yield farming measures their returns in terms of annual percentage yield, all right, which is true. But then you also have your APR rates that are given as well because it doesn't auto compound, all right. The third bullet here is, while potentially profitable, yield farming is also incredibly risky. And I'm going to give my understanding as to why that is. And then the final one is visit this for more stories. That's not relevant to what we need to talk about. Okay. So in the first paragraph here, it talks about how yield farming is a means to earn interest on your cryptocurrency, similar to how you'd earn interest on any money in your savings account. Okay. So since yield farming began in 2020, yield farmers have earned returns in the form of APY that can reach triple digits. And I've seen some that have. But this potential return comes at a high risk, with the protocols and coins earned subject to extreme volatility and rug pulls wherein developers abandon a project and make off with investors' funds. Okay. So understanding how yield farming works, why would you even want to do it? Okay. Also known as liquidity farming. Yield farming works by first allowing an investor, so let's say me, I'm the investor, to stake their coins by depositing them onto a lending protocol through a decentralized app, or what people write or short form say as a DApp. Okay. Other investors can then borrow the coins through this DApp to use for speculation, where they try to profit off of sharp swings that they anticipate in the crypto in the coin market's price. Okay, so VVS Finance is the decentralized application, or the DApp, that you can get by going to their website, or on your phone. You can quickly get through it through crypto.com's DeFi wallet and DeFi application. If you, I can't show it here because it's not on the phone that I have linked that I can cast on my laptop here, but it's not that hard to get through. This second paragraph right here that I'm highlighting is the one that I want to read. It says yield farming is simply a reward program for early adopters. All right. Says Jay Kurahashi Sofu. And I apologize if I jacked your name up, Jay. But he's VP of marketing at Ava Labs, a team supporting development of the Avalanche public blockchain that works with several DeFi applications, or dApps, that offer yield farming. All right. So let's see. What is something else here that I wanted to highlight? All right. This lending is usually facilitated through smart contracts, which is why smart contracts are kind of a big deal. This is code that is already set up that handles transactions. Okay, so there's no actual person deciding the fate of how a transaction is going to, handle. All right. Users who are using yield farming are also known as liquidity providers. Lend their firm funds by adding them smart contract. Okay. So I'm going to talk through that step. I'm not going to demonstrate it here because I don't have the cryptocurrencies loaded to be able to show how to do that. But later this week, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to add a liquidity pair. And I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm not going to have a talk through live stream like this. Okay. And then B, I'm going to add to the glitter mine for Vvs Finance. And I'm just going to show how to do that from start to finish. Okay. So tune in later in the week when I do that. I don't know if I'm going to do it Thursday or Friday. We'll have to see. All right. So there was some other stuff that was in here, but it wasn't relative to what I wanted to highlight before I go back to VVS Finance. And I thought my phone was on mute. So let me do that real quick and then continue. All right. So now that my phone is on mute, let's continue. Is yield farming safe? All right. It has some risks. I found out about those risks and let's talk about it. Volatility. Volatility is the degree to which an investor's price fluctuates. A volatile investment is one that experiences a lot of price movement in a short amount of time. The price of your tokens could crash or surge while they're locked up. All right. And here's the thing, if they're locked up, some platforms, VVS doesn't, has what's called like an unstaking or like an unbonding period, where even after you unstake it or unlock it, you can't immediately pull out. From what I've seen on VVS Finance, you can, so that's a bonus. But when you do, you run across if you pull out while it's down, and in permanent loss, which I'm going to talk a little bit about that later on. I had to learn what that meant. Okay. Um, let's see. So the second bullet in here, it talks about fraud, which interesting enough, says yield farmers may unwittingly put their coins into fraudulent projects or schemes that make off with all of the farmers' coins. And in fact, it said fraud and misappropriation accounted for a vast majority of the $1.9 billion in crypto crimes that occurred in 2020. So how do you mitigate this? I simply would not join a farm that was into a coin or a project that I had no clue about. You might get enticed by some high APYs. Okay, join this farm and get back 100,000 APY with a daily that could be sitting around somewhere like 5%. I laugh because I've seen that. But when you do a little bit of research, those cryptocurrencies that do participate in those farms typically are cryptocurrency projects that once they get your money, they rug it and there's nothing that you can do about it. Okay. And that goes into what this third one is right here called rug pulls. Rug pulls are a type of an exit scam where cryptocurrency developer gathers the funds for a project, then abandons without returning the investor's funds. Okay. Nearly 99% of major fraud that occurred during the second half of the year this year in 2021 was due to rug pulls and other exit scams, which yield farmers are particularly susceptible to. So I'm going to talk about the farms that I jumped in, why I did it, and ones that I saw. Actually, there's none on VVS Finance that I saw that made me question. But if you go to some of these other yield farms, there's some cryptocurrency. And I'm like, I've never heard of that. The APY is stupid high, but I'm just like, nope, not doing it. Okay. So it talks about smart contract risk as well, saying that the smart contracts used in yield farming can have bugs or be susceptible to hacking, putting your cryptocurrency at risk. All right. Better code vetting and third-party audits improve the security of these contracts. So I would say don't jump into a yield farm that hasn't been audited. Uh, a VVS Finance has, and they have communication channels set in place that can kind of keep that from being a risk, okay, to help kind of mitigate it. All right. And I talked about impermanent loss earlier. I kind of glanced over it, but it's the gains are how do I say this? It's unrealized gains or losses that can occur if one or both of your cryptocurrencies dump in price. Okay. So if you have two pairs, one goes down and one goes up. Like let's say you supply $50 in VVS Finance and $50 worth of Crow. VVS Finance goes down 20, Crow goes up 10, where you're at an impermanent loss on one side because the price is lower. Okay. But if you were to wait, I say you wait and both of them goes up higher than your capital that you put in, then you've got gains on both sides. Now it's good if the gains stay up, you're still earning whatever it is that this particular DeFi, gives you. And when you decide to pull out, if the price of both of them are high, then you can have some small gains, but the gains might not be as good as if you were just, and how do I say this, swing trade them or you regularly trade those tokens. Okay. And then it says here in the last one, regulatory risk, and goes on to say that there are still many regulation questions around cryptocurrency. The SEC has stated that some digital assets are securities and thus falls under its jurisdiction, allowing it to regulate them. And it says that state regulators have already issued cease and desist orders against one of the biggest crypto lending sites, BlockFi. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Okay. So let's see. There's two more things here to cover, and then I'm going to go over to my VVS. So it says right here, is crypto farming, yield farming profitable? Yes, it can be, but it also comes with risks that we covered earlier. Okay. CoinMarketCap provides yield farming rankings with its various liquidity pools yearly and daily. I couldn't find that. I also don't like CoinMarketCap as well for other reasons. So, but I did find something on CoinGecko that I'm going to bring up. All right. And it says that CoinMarketCap, that it's easy to find pools running double-digit yearly APYs, and with some of those that have 1,000 percentage point APYs. I didn't see any 1,000 percentage point APYs on CoinGecko, but let's see if there's any that are listed on VVS Finance when I bring that up. All right. It says, but many of those also have a high risk of impermanent loss, which should make investors question if the potential rewards is worth the risk. All right. Your overall profit will depend on how much cryptocurrency you stake. To be profitable, yield farming requires thousands of dollars of funds and extremely complex strategies. I did not provide thousands of dollars of funds. I started with like $100, and we're going to see if that's done anything. And then it goes on to say 5 yielding protocols to know about: Aave, Compound, Curve Finance, Uniswap, and Instadap, which I've heard of all 4 of these, but I had never heard of Instadap. But Compound is going to be the next one that I want to try to understand, because I've seen some really smart people talk about Compound and getting into their year farming and how their autonomous algorithmic interest rate protocol can go far for you, because you can kind of put it in, forget about it, pick current or pick farming projects that are stable, and you could just sit back and let your money make you money. All right. So let's see. That's all that I wanted to talk about here. And let's go over to my VVS Finance to see what it looks like. And you can kind of see this is what I use here to create my streams. All right. So let's bring this up. I got to bring this up here. Okay. So this is vvs.finance.info, and this takes you to the analytics page. If you click these 3 dots over here, you can go to the documentation that I had up earlier. All right. So if you take a look, total liquid in VVS Finance is 1.34 billion. All right. Billion with the B. Okay. And the market cap specifically for VVS, which is the native token, is 234 million. Now, sorry, 231. Now, this was a little bit higher yesterday. The volume really kind of hasn't been that high lately, but it was 180 something billion last week. So good news, I guess. right? And you can see what the top tokens are, which, hey, CRO. You have to use CRO to execute the transactions on VVS Finance. And this is why, with the other dApps and stuff that's going to be launched as well, people, if it, CRO is like around 50 something cents. It's red. It says it right here, 55 cents per CRO right now. Okay. When you take a look at how you have to use CRO for this dApp, some of the other dApps, and its other kind of use cases in the future, I don't see why people aren't stocking up on CRO, which I said on my channel, Q1 of 2022. So that's January through March, the biggest chunk of my capital and what I have that I'm going to start accumulating every last one of my paychecks or anytime I get any kind of income is going to go to adding VVS Finance and CRO. Okay. I'm a huge fan of CRO. If I didn't like KuCoin as much, I would probably exclusively use the crypto.com ecosystem, which is their main app and then their DeFi platform as well. But I'm a huge fan of KuCoin. KuCoin has been good to you, boy. All right. But that's another stream. Okay. So if you take a look at how liquid everything is, I mean, hey, a VVS Finance is getting up there. Okay. So let's go in here and take a look at the swap. Okay. So this is where you swap one token for another. All right. And I'm not gonna, let me just show how to do it real quick. So let's say I want to get, I don't know, let's come in here. Well, I can swap for tonic. All right, why not? Let's say I want to come in here and swap CRO for tonic, and I only want to do a small amount because I don't have that much here in my balance. Plus, I want to have enough for the fee, and I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger here. All right. So if I want to do 25% of my CRO, which is only 1.11 essentially, and get 735 tokens worth of tonic, all right, you'll see down here the minimum receive based off of like price impact and then the fee that is accumulated from here. All right. And if you look at the route, this is something that's new to me. So I'm learning here. Routing through these tokens resulted in the best price for your trade. So it's CRO to USD coin to VVS to tonic. All right. Whatever. Let's do it. So when I click swap and then confirm swap, and so it says output estimate. Oh, see price update. So you kind of have to do this fast. So I need to have my application up here on my phone to confirm it. All right. So I'm going to click accept, whatevs, and then confirm. All right. And the total fee, because y'all can't see the fee, is 1.75. So I'm spending 2.86 to make this happen. All right. And then I click confirm. You've got the receipt. And I'm closing this out. And bam, that's updated already. So that happened that quick. Okay. So that is the swap where you can swap different tokens that you have up here. All right. For other tokens that are listed. And they add tokens all the time. All right. As of right now, it's kind of limited, but they do have Dogelon Mars. That was a bit of a surprise to me. All right. They do have Dogelon Mars. All right. So that is showing how to do the swap live on air. All right. And if I want to do this and get, let's see, Beefy Finance, all right, which is an expensive token right now. All right. I receive not a whole lot, but it is what it is. I'm not going to show that. I just want to talk about it real quick. All right. So let's talk about what it means to add liquidity. So when you want to add liquidity, you click the liquidity tab up here, click add liquidity. And what you want to do is you want to already have tokens that you have in your wallet already to be able to do this. So let's say this was $50 worth of Crow. And let's say I wanted to do Crow and USDC. Now, before I show that, I kind of have to talk about the different farms and why you would want to take a look at a certain pair to be able to add. All right, so let's go and show that first before we come back. All right. So while this is loading, you'll see I have one farming pair, which is CRO VVS, that has an APR, not APY, but an APR of 132% as of this recording, and a multiplier of 40x. And read what it says right here. The multiplier represents the proportion of VVS rewards each farm receives as a proportion of the VVS produced each block. For example, if a 1x farm received 1 VVS per block, a 40x farm would receive 40 per block. And this amount is already included in all APR calculations for the farm. Now, they can change that multiplier, not all willy-nilly. They typically give you a heads up when the multiplier is going to change. All right. So if I wanted to sort this, let's say if I want to sort this by APR, you see that the highest APR rate now is Vvs Finance USD Tether. So this is the pair, okay? And it changes. The APR is going to change, okay? But you can come in here and click this little calculator and say, all right, what is my return on investment at the current APR if I were to have, like, let's say just $1,000 in this liquidity pair over a year? And if you take a look, that is a nice ROI when you consider the current APR and nothing changes. Okay. But you can't really think about it that way because the APR is going to fluctuate and change based on several different factors that I can't really explain. Just know that it doesn't stay the same. All right. But you can take an outlook. If you want to, the best thing is like, all right, well, 1 day or, 7 day, because that can kind of get you pretty close as to an estimate of what it could be if you had this uh, a liquidity pair at the current APR. All right. The part that makes me laugh is, hey, assuming nothing changes, what's the outlook 5 years from now? And you see something like this and you go, nice. You'd be sadly mistaken. Let's do this. You can't think about it that way. All right. But if you get in early on some, all right, let's say you provide liquidity for, let's say, CRO and Vvs Finance, and both of these tokens go up, all right, then the amount that you can earn can be fantastic. So I have currently in here $133.33 staked. And this also increases as well as you earn. But then you earn VVS for having this staked here. Now, I wish I could see when I put this in. Let's see if it shows that in the details. All right. Nope, it does not show in the details. But if you were to compound at least once a day, this is what your APY could be. All right. But your APR that's listed is this smaller amount here. All right. So you have to understand that. You have to understand that. Okay. I want to say I did 2 farms. I did CRO VVS. Nope, I actually did just that one. Okay. So I added my pair, okay? And if you want to, quickly figure out, hey, I want to jump into this one, you can go to that particular one, click this link here, and it'll take you straight to the page that you can do to add the liquidity pair. You put one up here, it'll auto match it down here for the maximum amount. Make sure that you have CRO for the transaction, and then click proceed. Or this doesn't say enter amount; it actually says something else, but it's not going to show that up here since I don't have tokens that I could do a pairing for right now. All right. See, the other thing to highlight, if it's your first time getting into that farm, you have to enable it, and that costs CRO as well. It's a small amount. It's like $2. So you have to click enable to have the ability for your wallet to interact and be able to supply liquidity to that farm. And then you have the ability to add a liquidity pair and earn VVS. Okay. So I said a lot. And if this is new to you, you may not fully understand it, but that's okay. I didn't really fully understand it either until I started just playing around in here. And I'm gonna be transparent and tell you the only reason why I did this farm is I saw this APR and this multiplier and said sign me up. Smartest move, probably could wreck me too. Absolutely, if VVS or Crow were to go down, which I'll tell you, this VVS is going down since I added liquidity into here, and Crow's kind of stayed the same. So I'm at an impermanent loss right now, but I'm not worried about it, okay? Because I'm still earning VVS. I don't have an immediate need for this small amount here, so I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping one bit. So let's go into what the mines are, okay? There's the manual mines, which you can stake um, your VVS and earn VVS. And then there's a way to earn tonic by staking VVS. And there's a way to earn beefy finance by staking VVS as well. So as you can see, I didn't bother to enable the manual VVS staking because any VVS that I buy, not from earning the VVS here or through my farm, because I don't have enough to really accumulate enough VVS to then harvest it and then move it over here. So what I'm doing is every time I get paid, I buy VVS Finance through the crypto.com DeFi app. And once I do, as long as my wallet is connected, I just come in here, click this add button. I add all of the VVS Finance that I buy. And now you have this over here, auto compounding, earning more VVS over time as, it goes through. And this thing harvests or claims I think it's every 30 seconds. It seems like it's every 30 seconds. Okay. But since my last action, which was the last time that I've added VVS in here, I've earned 97 cents, which isn't a whole lot for the small amount that I have in here. But if you take a look at this, so this was yesterday morning. I want to say this is local time to you. And let's see, I've earned 18,000 VVS off of the small amount that I have in here staked and compounding. Okay. I'm not tripping about that. I'm not tripping about that one bit. Okay. Because that's it. I like looking at this calculator, but look, assuming nothing changes, okay, the ROI at the current rates over 1 year and 5 year, it looks nice. But my point on VVS and why I like it, stake and forget. I compare VVS Finance to Uniswap, PancakeSwap, OX. You kind of can compare it to Compound, like the native token, all right, that has its utility and everything that's built around it. All of those over time have gone up. The biggest one I think I saw was Compound, that's up like several 100% over a year. And I'm talking about its native tokens, okay? The native token to those specific DeFi platforms or yield aggregators. All right. So that's why I'm like, hey, I see this is getting in to one early that's on what's going to be a popular blockchain, Cronus. All right. And if the developers and the team behind this can figure out a way to, and I hate even saying this, but reduce the supply faster, then hey man, buckle up. But I'm not intending to have my small amounts, make me stupid wealthy immediately. But hey, over time, if the use case and the ecosystem around VVS Finance causes it to go up, and I've got 4 million now, which is going to easily get higher just because I'm going to continue to buy and add every time that I get paid. Plus, I've got this auto VVS Finance in here staking. Plus, I'm going to be yield farming as well, earning VVS tokens and tonic don't care too much about beef because the price of beef is so high. This small amount that I'm earning right now isn't really gonna do anything. But I just wanted it in there. Okay, maximum. It's not the best, but it's doing something. The 58 cents that I've earned off of this $38 is a lot better than if I would have had it inside of my bank savings account or whatnot. All right. And yeah, to claim it is going to cost me more to claim it right now. But, like I said, this isn't capital that I need at the moment. So I'm not really worried about touching it. All right. And the same kind of goes for Tonic, which is another DeFi 2.0 lending borrowing platform that I'm just accumulating my Tonic over time, seeing what happens with it. I'm probably not going to add much more to this one here or this one here. I'm gonna probably take this up to where I've got $100 stake in both, and I'm just not gonna worry. I'm not even gonna worry about claiming it, as I'm just gonna let it sit there. I'm definitely going to be compounding and adding as much as I can to this stake and forget VVS. Absolutely. Definitely want to do that. So I could just be earning VVS over time and come back in 5 years, as long as I'm still alive. All right. So that is my VVS plan. Oh, want to show one more thing. So let's bring this over here. All right. If you go to CoinGecko and you go to resources, there's a tab under here for yield farming, which is where I'm at now. And this is organized by uh, the current highest value locked. All right. And you can see Sushi definitely has the largest with the pair pool Bitcoin and wrapped Ethereum. So this is, hey, I'm supplying Bitcoin, I'm supplying wrapped Ethereum, I'm getting LP pair token for that and earning 19.05 yearly. All right. So that's how you kind of have to, break that down. Now, this is pulling in the data because this is like a data aggregator, if you will. And it's telling you that the APY data is obtained from the apy.sushiswap.fi website. All right. So if you take a look here, you see a lot of sushi pairs at the top as far as being highly liquid. Sushi Swap's not one that I'm familiar with. I've heard about it, but I've never used it. Okay. But if you look at some of these estimated returns yearly, you're thinking, oh man, this is woo, here we go. Okay. And they even list the audits right here for some of the ones that are up on the website. And look, that's a good thing. Okay. You can supply Bitcoin on Venus and get 1.08 yearly. That's not a lot. Okay. But hey, if you want to just a place to put your cryptocurrency to have it earning, this is an option. All right. This is one way of doing it. Let's sort this by the highest estimated returns. Alluvium, never heard of it. But if you supply the pair Alluvium and wrapped Ethereum, okay, it's got over 398 million locked and it's giving a 423% APY. Insane. And this is estimate based on the emission of 1.08 per block. Actual APY may vary as allocation weight or emission rate changes. All right. And that I can't speak to. All right. Whatsoever. Somebody smarter than me might be able to do that. All right. But let's see, let's go in here and take a look at some of these to see if I recognize any pools that I might want to get into, when I have a little bit of extra capital. Nah, not really. All right. At least none of these. But if you come in here, oh yeah, you know what? I actually went to this earlier. CoinGecko, fix your links because this market cap doesn't work. But there's an impermanent loss calculator, and I saw that this one worked as well. And what else? An APY calculator. Now this is kind of tricky because you can put in your principal amount. All right. And if you say that the APY listed is 200%, then you can see what that amounts to per minute, hour, day, month, and year. But the APY is going to fluctuate. So this is going to be a difficult one to really kind of gauge an eye on for smaller amounts. But if you want to take a bigger amount and say, man, this one currently has an APY of 250. All right. I'm sorry, the APY, 250% APY. And I've got 15 grand to put in real quick for a day and gain $100. And in order to execute that trade, let's say you spent about, let's say if you already just had the pair to do it, okay, and you want to come in and gain a quick gain real quick, pull in and pull out, then hey, that's not a bad way to gain a quick $100 when the fees to supply and do everything to supply the pair and everything, you're talking at current CRO prices anyway, about $7 or $8 fully, like assuming you've never added the liquid, so you have to enable the the action or contract or whatnot, and then be able to supply, and then to pull out, it's the same thing. 16 bucks to make 102 might not be bad. That's assuming that the price to execute everything stays the same. All right. So I like crypto farming. There's other people that talk about that's their investment strategy. For me, I'm still learning about it, and I don't have capital sitting on the side to be able to add large amounts to jump into different ones. Now, there's one, and I'm hesitant to even show this. If you recall that I said earlier, those that have high APYs, you should want to stay away from because you have a chance of losing your money. All right. There's one, and I'm not even going to talk about it, but I found this on a different platform. And I put in 90 bucks total in two different farms. And the APYs on this, and I'm not even kidding. One says 6.83 million and the other one says 8.8. But because I'm so nervous, I put like $25 in one and $50 in the other one. And they both doubled in 2 days. And I'm kind of like on one hand saying, man, I'm gonna let this ride out and see what happens. All right. I'm not gonna add any more capital to it because it makes me nervous. But I'm looking at it, man, and even the daily APR, 3% and 3%. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to talk about that one because I don't want to point people to that. They're say, "Oh man, I heard you." No, no, not doing it. If it works out for me, great. If not, it's something that I can laugh at as I'm learning what these different things are. Okay. But if you're into crypto yield farming, let me know. Put it down in the comment section if you've made it all 48 minutes that I've been live. Okay. Or if you happen to just kind of skip to the end, let me know what you thought about it. If I feel like it, I might go and add chapters to this so people can skip around. I doubt I do it, but I would like to. And I just wanted to point out that I at least thought about it. Okay. So shout out to the people that watch live. Thanks for helping me out on the viewership on my channel. I'm going to put a quicker, more succinct video on how to go in and actually provide liquidity and contribute to the mine as well. There's a comment. Let's see what this comment says. NWRNVR wrote, VVS Army, those who needed to leave left. Have faith. We in here. Hey, let me give you a absolutely. The amount of people that are in the Discord and even on Twitter that are so negative, it baffles me. Like I said, I can't fully explain why I'm excited about it because I suck at explaining stuff. I can't sell things to anybody. I can't sell water to a camel. I can't do it. I can't sell candy to a baby. It's not my strong point. Okay. What is my strong point is being able to analyze something and just giving a quick thumbs up or a quick thumbs down. And I've been pretty good about those that I do give a thumbs up on and those that I do give a thumbs down on to go, yep, that was the right call. And VVS Finance is one of those that I'm looking at it like it's the right call. If I'm unsure, I'll give a sideways thumb when I analyze it and go, look, I'm just not sure about this. So it is what it is. If I decide to get into it and it drops, hey, look, I wasn't sure about it. If I decided to get into it and it goes, up, but I wasn't sure about it, great, so be it. Shiba was one of the calls that I looked at, and I saw Shiba as, man, I think this can do what Doge did, but be a lot better. And I felt extremely confident about that. I couldn't explain it other than I just saw the community behind it. I saw the community behind it, and I believed in the roadmap and what they were going to develop. And so far, the developers of Shiba have came through. All right. I feel the same way about VVS Finance. I can't really explain why I'm excited about it, but the fact that it is on the Cronus blockchain, marketed behind crypto.com, all right, and it was developed with the same people that are around Particle B, which are a team of people that help incubate different dApps and things like that. Like the people that are with Particle B, smart people, smart developers, okay, and business team that they have. So if they put something out there, it's a good product. So to the people that have left VVS Finance because you come on the CoinGecko or the actual website and you see a look at the price action, all right, and here, let's just show it real quick. And you see that it has gone down. It has added a zero since I got into it. Okay. And you take a look at the max supply and go, well, there's way too many commas. All right. And that the current circulating supply is stupid high right now. You see all of this and you kind of ask yourself and you go, man, I don't think that this is a good thing that I don't want to put my money into, especially when you take a look at the last 24 hours. It's dropped significantly. All right. I can't explain it, especially when you take a look at over the last 30 days. If you got in early, you're down 60%. You're not happy. I can't explain it. Honestly, can't. But going forward, I feel like if you were to hold, you would take a look at other cryptocurrencies here, and you'll see that this year is going to be positive, in the green, and maybe even triple digits. Let's take a look at Uniswap. And this is kind of wrong. Can I compare? Yeah, you know what? I can't compare. So let's take a look at the Uniswap cryptocurrency, okay, which is currently ranked 25, and go down to, look, its all-time low over a year ago was $1.03, and it's sitting at 18.56, and over 1 year, 252% gain. Okay, that's Uniswap. Let's take a look at SushiSwap. Okay, the actual cryptocurrency, not the exchange. Okay, its all-time low, 48 cent roughly. All right, at its heightened at its high point 10 months ago, $23.38. It's now sitting at $8.68 or $8.20. All right, whatever. But up from this amount, boom, over a year, 138.2% gain. All right. Let's take a look at one more. Let's see. What's another one? Compound. Compound might be a rough one, but let's take a look at it. Okay. Compound at its lowest point, $61.32 over a year ago. Each year, because I think Compound's fairly new. All right. It's only up 58.9%, but their protocol has been rated extremely positive by a lot of people. Okay. And its current market cap right now is around 94. So that's another one. And there was one more I wanted to highlight that's very similar to VVS Finance, but I can't think of what it is now. And there was another comment that came out and said, well said, we have to understand that it's only 2 months young. It's unfortunate when we miss out, when we can't be patient. Let me tell you, I made some money on Shiba, but I was impatient with it. I had gotten into Shiba like January of 2020. All right. And because I was still fairly new to cryptocurrency, I let FUD control my actions and I sold a big portion of it that I'm even afraid to show this publicly, but there's been other people who have. Had I held on to my Shiba, I would have $1 million liquid right now. That's how much Shiba I sold. I still held on to some. And even with the amount that I held on to, it still did good for you, boy. Don't get me wrong. But it's one of those that I've had to learn to zoom out. Okay? Zoom out. Take a look at what the cryptocurrency is that you're getting into, the specific project, and what the ecosystem is behind it. And if you can ask yourself, do you see that ecosystem boosting and giving that value over time? Add and hold. Every last single one of my cryptocurrencies that I didn't sell are all up. Every last single one. 100%. No, that's a lie. Because I've gambled on some. Outside of the ones that I've gambled on, all right, and the ones that I gambled on, I told you guys about. I gave it a halfway thumb because I just simply wasn't sure about it. Okay. So on the ones that I wasn't sure about, um, they may a majority of them have done well. I got rugged on two, but the ones that I got rugged on, other people got rugged on as well. All right, but yeah, like 98% of the cryptocurrencies that I have over a year, because I really started getting heavy into crypto like late December of 2019, early January. That's where I've kind of realized my gains and profits. Now the tax man is gonna have their cut on those that I've realized those gains on, and it is what it is. All right. As I kind of go through, look, not financial advice, but I have an accountant that is aware of cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrency laws and stuff like that. So I'm not going to try to outsmart the IRS because it is my opinion that if you try and do something stupid like that, they will find you. Okay. I wish I had the sound effect. I will find you. So, but since this is the first year that I'm really kind of dealing with cryptocurrency and taxes like that, I'm curious to see uh how much that's going to affect from some of the not so smart decisions that I made early quarter Q1 of 2020. So that's my video for today. All right. Longer than I thought, but I like these long form discussions about cryptocurrencies and things because it allows me to kind of talk out some things that I have in my head. And if I am wrong, the people that are watching will correct you. People will definitely correct you if you're wrong about something. But that's cool. I like that. Give me feedback. Okay. Let me know what you think about my presentation style, and the information that I have given. Let me know all of that. Okay. You can find me across multiple platforms. They're up on the screen right here. Okay. You're watching on YouTube, hit that like button for you, boy. Help me out on the algorithms. That's the algorithm over here. I go live every Monday on every day of the week, actually, Monday through Friday, early in the morning. And I do what's called Coffee and Crypto with King. Okay. And the main cryptos that I'll typically talk about are the following: XRP, SafeMoon, CRO, VVS, Saitama, Shiba, and I always forget some. It's like one more. It'll come to me. But those are my main ones. Okay. Those are my main ones. I should have some type of graphic that always has those listed so I don't forget them. Q1, like, oh, Impact XP. How can I forget? Saitama and Impact XP. Saitama is scheduled to be released this weekend. I'm going to be doing a video live on that. where I fumbled my way through navigating, creating my Saitama account and hooking up my wallet so that I can start staking my Saitama. I think that the price of Saitama is going to have some type of impact. It might not be an immediate impact. It might not kill a zero, but the possibilities there. I know that people are excited about it. I am too. I am too. To step away from Vvs Finance and close this out. If you're not into Saitama or Impact XP, which I think Impact XP, which has 9 zeros right now, can get to where Saitama is at, which has 5 zeros. And that's just me kind of thinking off the top of my head. You got to realize for every zero that's killed, that's a value gained on your capital. All right. You asked where can you buy Saitama? There's the hard way and the easy way. If you know how to use Uniswap, you would go to uniswap.org. All right. Up here in the top right, click launch app. You would then connect your wallet. I use MetaMask. And as long as you have Ethereum in your wallet, you can swap Ethereum for Saitama. Now, if you don't already have Saitama added in here, the way that you would do that, there's a couple of different ways. The safest way would be to go to their website, Saitama Token. And let's see if it comes up for me. I should have that saved as a favorite. All right. And get the contract address. And so what I mean by that is when you come up here and click buy, all right, how to buy. It actually talks about it here, but you copy this contract address right here. All right, go back to the Uniswap interface and you would click manage token list. Now, so this is the first time that you do it. Manage token list, add the contract in here. It'll pop up right here. You will import it and then it's there. So you want Ethereum at the top, Saitama at the bottom, have your wallet connected. That's the first thing. And then come up here to this wheel and set the slippage to about 15%. Okay. And I think on the website, it tells you that you want to set your slippage to, I think it tells you around 10. Let's see, kick on the clock wheel and set the slippage tolerance between 5 and 10%. I've left my slippage whenever I buy Saitama at 15%. Now you risk losing, or not, how do I say this? You risk not maximizing how many Saitama tokens you could get for your Ethereum, but I've also never had a failed transfer or a failed transaction occur by setting my slippage to 15% as well, which is done in the cog wheel right here. That is the hard way to buy it. Okay, but by doing it this way, if you understand how to use DeFi and swap, you earn the reflections that occur because of the way that the Saitama contract is written. Now, the I'm sorry, that's the hard way. The easiest way to get it, and I have to see which centralized exchange it's on because I'm on several. The easiest way to get Saitama is through Bitmart. All right. Bitmart had its issue back in December that caused an uproar, but Bitmart is a centralized exchange that is easy to purchase Saitama as well because you don't have to worry about the Ethereum gas fees and slippage and none of that. But you do have to have a Bitmart account and you have to have a way to at least fund USD Tether on there. And if you go to my YouTube channel, I have a video of me buying Saitama on Bitmart. So just go search for it. Let's see. The other way that you can find out too is if you ever want to understand where a token can be bought at, if you go to CoinGecko and scroll down to markets, you'll get a list of all of the current markets that you can acquire that token at, and each exchange is going to have a different price, that's listed because they're governed by, their own protocols. Is that the right word? They're like this. Where you can get it can cost different over here than where you could get it over here. All right, but the price is going to be about the same. It's like, based off of the market conditions. Okay, so you can get it on Bitmart, but like I said, they were hacked back in December. People lost on their Saitama, and I don't know the resolution on the people that lost their Saitama, but you can get it there. If you are familiar with any of these other centralized exchanges like LBank or Gate.io, and you're able to use that, then you can get it there too. Now, there's going to be other centralized listings, but if you want to get in now, Uniswap. That's one way. I'm sorry. Bit on the decentralized side, Bitmart. Even I said that wrong. On the centralized part, Bitmart, and on the decentralized side, Uniswap. Apology. Sometimes my brain thinks faster than my mouth moves. All right. So this is how you can find out where to purchase something. Like, let's go to Shiba real quick. You'll see that Shiba is listed everywhere, and their 24-hour volume is insane. Insane. Where'd I see this at? Their trading volume is 586 million. That is insane. But that's because, hey, Shiba can be bought. It's getting burned actually now. And it's listed everywhere. Binance, Coinbase, Binance US, KuCoin, Hotbit, Shiba Swap. All right. If you're gonna get Shiba, I would stake it on Shiba Swap or provide LP there, okay, so that you can earn Bone, because they've announced that Bone is going to be it's not just their governance token, but it's going to be what you pay in gas fees for Shiba Swap 2.0. All right. But if you look Kraken, I mean, look, it's listed everywhere. Everywhere. Now, Saitama has listings that they're going to be announcing, rumor, all right, here pretty soon. And with the way that the community is behind Saitama, I mean, look, with Saitama, it's just going to be a matter of time. It's got 300,000 holders. Now, I came in this talking about VVS, and I wanted to end it there, but I can't not talk about Saitama real quick. Because just last week it was under 300,000 holders. It was like around 250,000 holders. So to have this many holders, okay, it's entering into the Middle Eastern market and is going to be promoted heavy over there. If you go into Twitter on the app, they have Twitter Spaces, which is audio only rooms. There is likely a Twitter space about Saitama 24/7. I don't know when those people sleep over there. Let me bring it up here on my phone real quick to see if there's a Twitter space now. Yes. Oh, nope. Yep, there is. There's a Twitter space with over 120 some odd people called Saitama Wolfpack and Impactors. I mean, 24/7 essentially. I go to sleep and there's a Twitter space around Saitama. I wake up and there's a Twitter space around Saitama or Impact XP. All right. Yeah, right now, let's see, Saitama Wolfpack and Impactors. Mindy's in there. Cider Prince is in there. Crypto Alert in there. Hey, look, Saitama, Wolf, and Impact XP. If you're not in on it, I said this on Twitter and I put this on my public facing Facebook page. Getting into both of these is like getting into Shiba before Shiba lost several zeros. Okay, so strap up and get ready. Over 300,000 holders and not a whole lot of exchanges right now. It when Saitama hits Binance, KuCoin, Kraken, Coinbase, get ready. Get ready. I'm laughing because it's going to be one of those things that, with the amount of holders that it's got now, kind of organically, without being listed on a lot of the major exchanges, tells me that when Saitama does get listed on a lot of the bigger centralized exchanges, look out. Look out. All right. So let me stop being a Saitama fanboy and just tell you, if you don't have Saitama or Impact XP, go get it. I've got videos on my channel. If you go to YouTube, you'll see them. They're there. I need to go back and actually update most of them because I want to create a Saitama playlist. I want to create an Impact XP playlist and just go from there. All right. And I show how to buy it from start to finish. That's my video for today. Let me get off. It is 10:11 and I got some Xbox playing to do before I go to work tomorrow. Salute to those that have watched, and until next time, peace.